manager of the season, taking on last season's champions Liverpool. The Nottingham Forest supports. There's been some really late team news coming out of Liverpool, which I will share with you very shortly. But it previously was going to be 2 changes. That's now become 3. As manager of the season, taking on out at the very last minute with Curtis Jones replacing him. So I will go through the 2 sides for you. And it is Vitor Pereira's first Premier League game in charge of Nottingham Forest since taking over last week from Sean Dyche. Did get a win in midweek, an impressive one against his old club Fenerbahce in the Europa League. 3-0 victory for Nottingham Forest out in Turkey on Thursday night. And he has unchanged from that lineup. So it's Ortega in goal. It's a 4-2-3-1 formation for Vitor Pereira. Ortega in goal, a back 4 of Aina, Milenkovic, Murillo and former Liverpool man Nico Williams. The midfield 2 of Sangare and Elliot Anderson. And then 3 across the front will be Hutchinson, captain Gibbs White and Hudson-Odoi, with Igor Jesus leading the line. So as mentioned, a late change for Liverpool, and it might mean a slight change at right back as well. So I'm going to have a guess. It's a 4-2-3-1 for Arne Slot as always. It will be Alisson in goal. I think it will now be Curtis Jones at right back with Konate, captain Van Dijk and Kirkes making up the back 4. Gravenberch and McAllister will sit in front with Salah, and I now think Szoboszlai will be in behind with Gakpo, and it will be Hugo Ekitike to lead the line for Arne Slot. But we will keep you updated with that as we go. Like I say, a very late change. It was due to be Florian Wirtz, but he's had to drop out through injury in the warm-up. So both benches as follows. Nottingham Forest with Gunn, Cunha, Morato, Bakwa, McAtee, Dominguez, Yates, Ndoye and Luca. And the Liverpool bench will be Marmadashvili, Robertson, Ramsey, Gomez, Nioni, Chiesa, Morrison and Engamoa. Possibly one short due to Curtis Jones having to fill in, but if I get any more information on that, I will give you that as we get it. So Nottingham Forest at home, all in red this afternoon. It means that Liverpool will be in their white away kit with black shorts for this trip. As mentioned, Vitor Pereira now, it will be his first Premier League game in charge, the 4th manager for Nottingham Forest after Nuno Espirito Santo, Ange Postecoglou and then Sean Dyche. It does become the man who takes over. Ex-Wolves manager, managed to get them really out of a hole this time last season to survive. And the owner Marinakis will be hoping that Vitor Pereira will do the same for this side. So Nottingham Forest come into this game in 17th position. They're 2 points above the drop at the moment after West Ham's 0-0 draw last night. A win for Nottingham Forest would lift them up 1 position. They would go above Tottenham, with Tottenham having to play the North London derby at 4:30. Liverpool come into the game in 6th position. 3 points would do enough for them to draw level with 4th place Chelsea. They do have an inferior goal difference, so would probably keep them in 6th place. They've got an opportunity, if they win heavily, to go up into 5th above Manchester United, who play against Everton tomorrow. But we're pretty much ready to go. It's looking like Curtis Jones will be in that right back position rather than Dominic Szoboszlai, who will be in the more advanced midfield role. And it's going to be Liverpool in their away kit of white shirts, black shorts, and shooting from right to left to get us underway. And the ball goes immediately back to Virgil van Dijk, who lifts it forward, and it's brought down by Curtis Jones, who in fact seems to be playing in midfield to start with. So we'll keep you updated. It does look like Szoboszlai is going to start at right back as Kirkes slides that down the line towards Ekitike, but Elliot Anderson steps in. Ever present Elliot Anderson, and he thumps the ball long. It's going to go all the way through to Alisson Becker in the Liverpool goal. Bit of a two-tone black and grey keeper kit for Alisson today. The long sleeves and jogging bottom, well, leggings underneath his shorts as well. Chilly afternoon in Nottingham. No rain to speak of just yet as Ibrahim Konate picks up the ball at centre back and then rolls it back to his goalkeeper. High press from Nottingham Forest to put Van Dijk under a little bit of pressure, but they pass their way out with Gravenberch and then Kerkez. And Gravenberch will take it over the halfway line where he finds Cody Gakpo on the left wing. Gakpo floats inside and decides to just roll the ball to Konate, who then finds Mo Salah on the halfway line on the right hand side. Nottingham Forest just dropped into a more of a low block now after pressing high in the opening minutes. There's a few targeted presses as Virgil van Dijk's under pressure again and has to lift the ball forward, and that's been given away by Liverpool, and Nottingham Forest find themselves in possession. It'll be centre-back Murillo who will send that back to Ortega in the Nottingham Forest goal. Light blue kit for him as he goes long up towards Morgan Gibbs-White, who can't win the header, and it'll roll through to Becker in the Liverpool goal. So if you are just joining us, there was late team news out of Liverpool. Florian Wirtz injured in the warm-up only a few minutes before as Van Dijk's given the ball away again, and Igor Jesus was nearly put through, and luckily for the Liverpool captain, his centre-back partner came across and dealt with the situation, and Kerkez can bring the ball away from the left-back position. He finds Curtis Jones, who was that late replacement, who then loses the ball to Sangare, who lifts it forward for Hudson-Odoi, breaks into the box, he's through one-on-one, and it's a really good save from Alisson, and it comes back off of the Nottingham Forest wing, and it will be a goal kick. That's a glorious opportunity in the opening 3 minutes for the side struggling towards the bottom. Lifted ball from Sangare, and it fell into the path of Hudson-Odoi, who got in front of Szoboszlai but couldn't lift it over the Brazilian keeper. Excellent stretched save from Alisson. Early warning signs from Liverpool. They've been pretty sloppy in possession at the back as they give it away again on the Nottingham Forest half, but Gravenberch managed to step in and win that ball back as he sends it long out towards the right hand side, but well cut out by former Liverpool man Nico Williams. He moves it on to Hudson-Odoi, who's going to run down the left wing, held up by Szoboszlai, so he clips the ball into Igor Jesus, who ends up losing out possession to Konate, and Liverpool find themselves back in possession in the penalty area with the keeper Alisson forced into that save early on. He chooses to go long this time up towards Salah, who's fighting for it, and the second ball's picked up by Curtis Jones. Liverpool in possession midway through the Nottingham Forest half. McAllister takes over 50 yards from goal, plays it out left towards Gakpo, bounces a couple of times, and Gakpo keeps it in just down by the corner flag. Tries to find Gravenberch for a bit of support, which he does, and Liverpool have to work it back towards the halfway line where Konate has it in the centre circle. They move it from left to right where Salah picks it up level with the edge of the area. Tries to dink a ball in towards Ekitike, but it's been cut out by Sangare, and the home side find themselves in possession. Nico Williams deep in his own half rolls the ball back to Murillo, who lifts it forward, but it's going to be too easy for Liverpool to regain possession on the halfway line with captain Virgil van Dijk. Forward comes Szoboszlai on the right hand side, who feeds Salah out wide. That part of the pitch bathed in sunshine as they come in field, and it'll be Van Dijk to spread it over to the left hand side where Gakpo, short sleeves, picks it up, plays it down the line for Kerkez overlapping, but really good defensive work from Hutchinson working back, and he plays the ball into Aina, and Nottingham Forest try and play out from the back, and neat footwork from Elliot Anderson, then finds Hudson-Odoi out on the left, space ahead of him, and he'll run at Szoboszlai, the man who had that glorious opportunity a couple of minutes ago. Hudson-Odoi puts it on his right foot and plays it in towards the back post, headed away, and that will be out of play for the first corner of the afternoon. Elliot Anderson already waving his arms to the home fans to try and get as much support as he can. And it will be him to go over and take that corner. The man who's played every minute in the Premier League from the start. Liverpool haven't got a great record from set pieces, and Forest have crowded everyone in there, but it's a poor ball in from the England man, and that will go out of play for a throw-in over on that far side. Vitor Pereira already furiously writing notes down on his pad in the opening 6 minutes. Ball is back with Anderson, whose delivery into the box again isn't a good one. It's cleared away, but there's no one up there for Liverpool. So Ortega will just bump the ball to Murillo all the way on the halfway line. The German keeper. Gibbs-White picks the ball up on the right hand side in space, and he finds Hutchinson, but Kirkes sticks to his man really well and steals the ball back. Kirkes trying to hook it up the line and ends up slicing it out of play. It will be a throw in midway inside the Liverpool half for the home team. Taken by Aina, who is back after a pretty lengthy injury layoff. And I'm sure Pereira will be delighted to have him back. So 10 starts in total this season. But a really important defender in that right back position. As forward come Forest again with Gibbs-White driving through the middle, and he plays it left to Elliot Anderson and then moves it out wide to Hudson-Odoi, who again is going to run at Szoboszlai. Filters it back for Sangare, shifts it out of his feet and fakes the shoot in the end, and just held up by Curtis Jones, but ball is still in possession with Hutchinson on the corner of the box. Plays it back to Aina. Left-footed finds Morgan Gibbs-White on the edge, who plays it out wide to Hutchinson. His ball in is headed away, but Liverpool can't get any foot on the ball at the moment as the ball is back out left with Nico Williams, but Mo Salah does well to work back and retain possession for the away team. Gravenberch just puts his foot on it and asks everyone to calm down and lays the ball back to his goalkeeper, who immediately moves it on to captain Van Dijk. Van Dijk, who started every Premier League game as well this season, got the winner last time out, that 1-0 victory in the Premier League against Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. Nate lifts the ball forward, and it's a good defensive header by Aina back to his keeper Ortega. Liverpool did play in the FA Cup last weekend, a 3-0 comfortable victory against other Premier League team Brighton. Forward come Nottingham Forest again with purpose, and it's Aina getting past McAllister, who's then hauled him down. And that's one of those tackles that probably later on in the game you'd find our referee Anthony Taylor today reaching for his pocket, but he hasn't this time. First free kick given of the game, 8 minutes in. Opportunity for Elliot Anderson to hopefully deliver a better ball. The two that he has put into the box so far not been great. Decides to take it short this time. It's Hutchinson out on the right hand side, comes back in his left foot and delivers a ball in. It's headed away by Van Dijk, picked up by Murillo on the corner of the box. Threads the ball through towards Morgan Gibbs-White, who's shrugged off by Ryan Gravenberch, and that'll be behind for a goal kick. Half appeals from Morgan Gibbs-White as to a potential penalty shout, but nothing in it really. A bit of a tangle of legs between the two. That'll be a goal kick for Liverpool. The VAR official is Paul Tierney today, but he won't be interested in that one as Liverpool get us back underway, and Van Dijk puts Szoboszlai under a bit of pressure and he's forced to lob it long, and Curtis Jones can't keep possession, and forward come Nottingham Forest again as Elliot Anderson shoots from distance, and it's just tickled wide of the post. Really good strike from the central midfielder. Found a little bit of space ahead of him, ended up going through the legs of a couple of players. You could tell that Alisson was worried, started diving away to his right hand side. Ended up being a yard wide in the end, but you must say it's the home side that have looked the most purposeful so far. Forward comes Ekitike, and he's gone down under a tackle from Sangare, and that'll be a free kick in the midfield. So Forest coming into this game with only 2 wins in their last 10 Premier League matches, which ultimately led to the further dismissal of Sean Dyche, the 3rd manager of the year for Nottingham Forest. Sean Dyche did oversee this fixture in the reverse, which was a 3-0 victory at Anfield for Nottingham Forest. Back underway with Kerkez, who's under pressure, tries to clip the ball down the line to Van Dijk, who keeps it in, and Gakpo then gives it away, and Liverpool really haven't got started here. Ball spread out to the left-hand side for Hudson-Odoi, but he has to play that back into Anderson, who gives the ball away. Szoboszlai moves it out to the right-hand side for Cody Gakpo, and then Gravenberch, but Liverpool again forced backwards and all the way into their own penalty box with keeper Alisson, who plays it out long towards the left. It's flicked on by Gakpo, and Curtis Jones will now be able to run forward and drifts in field, plays it back to the Dutch winger. He goes down under a tackle from Sangare, who this time just holds his hands up to the referee, knows that that one was a foul. That's 2 in quick succession from the Ivorian. Just probably needs to be a little bit careful. 2 late similar tackles. Sangare's been ever present for Forest since coming back from the African Cup of Nations, which ended up being a bit disappointing for his country when they were as reigning champions. Weren't able to retain, but Nottingham Forest be glad that he is back. So Stefan Ortega just organising a wall. It's about 35 yards out here. It will be a strong hit, but there's a 3-man wall that are outside the box. It's made up of Milenkovic, Jesus and Sangare. Szoboszlai and Salah are over the ball, and it's Salah that comes forward and clips it in. It's a cross left foot in. It's a good header away, but Ekitike tried to return it, and that will float over the bar. Nice chipped ball in from Mo Salah. It looks like even if the Liverpool players at the back post managed to get on it, they probably would have been offside as well. So good defending from Nottingham Forest. So 13 minutes gone here at the City Ground. It's still goalless. Callum Hudson-Odoi with the best chance of the game so far, forcing a good save as Liverpool turn the ball high up, and it's going to be Gakpo drives towards goal. His shot's blocked by Milenkovic, and it will bounce around in the midfield, and Igor Jesus back to help, retains possession for the home team. Sangare bursts forward and then finds Jesus in the centre circle. He goes down under a tackle. It's a free kick for Nottingham Forest. Jesus just hauls himself back to his feet. Just dropped in deep to help his team out. Hasn't really had many touches so far, the Brazilian striker. Short sleeves and gloves for him today in the sunshine. Ball ends up going all the way back to the light blue kit of Stefan Ortega, former number 2 goalkeeper at Manchester City. It's good to see him get a potential number 1 position, but there's been plenty of goalkeeper injuries here at the City Ground. Free kick given again by Anthony Taylor as Szoboszlai's tripped in his own half after winning the ball back. Yeah, Nottingham Forest without keepers Matt Sells and Jean-Victor. Jean-Victor's out for the rest of the season, we believe, and Matt Sells picked up a bit of a muscle injury. Matt Sells had a great year last year, obviously, in Nottingham Forest's important run. But as mentioned earlier, both sides unable to really replicate the great seasons they had last last year, but Liverpool come forward on the left-hand side with Gakpo, and he trades passes with Ekitike, and the ball ends up at the feet of number 17 Curtis Jones. Threads the ball through to Ekitike, who tries to go past Sangare and loses it, and then directly allows Forest to break over on the right hand side with Hutchinson. He gets to the edge of the area, got Van Dijk ahead of him, but gives White to his right, who plays the ball in. It's headed away by Konate and then flicked away again by Van Dijk, only into the midfield, which Sangare can get under control with Anderson. Forest keep the possession. Back out to Morgan Gibbs-White, level with the edge of the area, puts on his right foot, delivers a ball in, headed away by Konate once more. Picked up by Murillo, he's going to shoot from distance, it's blocked, and it was a good strike, and Eagle Jesus ended up getting the ball on the edge of the area, but then there's a clash of heads, and Elliot Anderson and Van Dijk have gone down on the edge of the area, and Anthony Taylor has signalled that will be a free kick to Nottingham Forest. Elliot Anderson looks to have come worse off here as the medical team comes sprinting on. Virgil van Dijk's already sat back on his bottom, already complaining to Anthony Taylor that it shouldn't have been a free kick. Elliot Anderson still laying down but has moved, so he's being attended to by the medical staff. There are two other games going on in the Premier League at the same time here on Super Sunday, as it's always called in the Premier League. There's Sunderland at home to Fulham and Crystal Palace at home to Wolves. Both those games also goalless at the moment. Then the North London derby to follow. Tottenham at home to Arsenal at 4:30. I'm sure Tottenham will have half an eye on this result as well, because if Nottingham Forest can get the 3 points here, it will put them under even more pressure. The final Premier League game of the game week will be tomorrow, as Everton host Manchester United. So 18 minutes on the clock, and we're getting ready for this free kick for Nottingham Forest. It's very central, just outside the D of the penalty area. Keeper Allison is stood in the middle of his goal. There is a four-man wall with Alexis McAllister laid down behind it as well. There's Hutchinson, Murillo and Gibbs-White all stood around the free kick. It's looking like Gibbs-White is probably going to be favourite for it. It is Gibbs-White who steps forward and he ends up laying it off to Murillo, drives it towards goal, and it might have even come off McAllister, who was still laying on the floor. Good thunderous strike from the Brazilian centre-back, but ends up in possession with Liverpool, and they try and play their way out, but Murillo steals the ball back and Sangare delivers it out wide to Hudson-Odoi, who's on the corner of the box, twisting and turning, gets on his right foot and tries to thread it to Morgan Gibbs-White, and Sangare makes another foul. Cody Gakpo gets pushed in the back, free kick given. Ibrahim Sangare probably towing a little bit of line, and there's going to be a yellow card for Morgan Gibbs-White, who's been deemed to have delayed the restart of play. Liverpool trying to take the free kick quickly, and it was kicked against Morgan Gibbs-White. He did stick a foot out to stop it, so simple yellow card for the Nottingham Forest captain. It's his first yellow card of the season after 26 appearances, so not bad going. Konate finally gets the free kick back underway and takes it short to Virgil van Dijk, who's back on after that head injury, and it's a really poor pass from Alexis McAllister. That'll be a throw-in on the halfway line for the home team. Arne Slot will be possibly a little bit concerned in this opening 20 minutes. No chances really for Liverpool. One golden opportunity for Nottingham Forest in the 3rd minute. Callum Hudson-Odoi was through one-on-one, and it was a good save from Allison in the end. But you must say it's been the home team that look more likely at the moment as they come forward again with Nico Williams level with the edge of the area. Threads it back to Anderson, who tries to return the favour, but it's stolen away by Mo Salah doing his defensive duties. Curtis Jones was tasked trying to get them up the pitch, and he gives it away, and forward come Forest again with Aina driving towards the edge of the box. Plays it to Elliot Anderson, who shoots from distance. It's blocked up in the air. Still bouncing around on the edge of the area. Kanate deals with it and tries to get it clear towards Salah, but there's so many red shirts swarming around the ball, and they win it back. Hudson-Odoi level with the edge of the area on the left-hand side. Starts running towards Szoboszlai, but ends up gifting it back to Elliot Anderson. Plenty of white shirts back in defence now for Liverpool. Into the midfield with Sangare, and he finds Milenkovic. Forest still in possession now, back in the centre circle with Murillo. And then Milenkovic, who moves it on to Igor Jesus, and Sangare then plays a delightful ball out to the left-hand side for Hudson-Odoi. He plays it down the line for Elliot Anderson to deliver it in left-footed towards the back post. Taken down by Hutchinson. Hutchinson tries to get on his left foot, shoots towards goal, and it's on target, but ends up rolling into the arms comfortably of Alisson. Good attacking play again from Nottingham Forest. Vitor Pereira has really got them ticking here in the first 22 minutes. Liverpool try and break out with Gravenberch, but Elliot Anderson just comes in and steals the ball away. Not much joy for Liverpool just yet. Forest in possession with keeper Ortega, who looks up and then clips it out to the left-hand side. It's going to be nodded on by Anderson, who can then release Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi with space ahead of him, drifts in field. Kanate breathing down his neck. He ends up giving it back to Sangare. Good ground covered by Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now Gibbs White on the right hand side delivers the ball in. It's a good one. It's a dangerous ball, but cleared away with his left foot by Virgil van Dijk. That'll be a throw in to Nottingham Forest, level with the edge of the area on this near side, which Olaina comes over to take. Just been asked to go back to the correct position. The Nigerian fullback does have a good long throw on him. So a good angle here for that as he comes forward and throws it into the box. It's first headed away by Virgil van Dijk. It falls to the feet of Nico Williams, who hits a shot left-footed and high into the stand behind the goal. That was never troubling Alisson. 23 minutes gone, still goalless. Good exciting game here in the Premier League, and it's Nottingham Forest who, I must say, have been the better side so far. Liverpool clip the ball forward towards Mo Salah, and his flick towards Curtis Jones is stolen away again by Sangare. And Nottingham Forest will keep possession as Elliot Anderson takes over and drives forward and finds Hudson-Odoi on that left-hand side again. He'll run at Szoboszlai, plays it down the line for Hutchinson, who delivers it into the box, but the offside flag is up. And that'll be a free kick to Liverpool. Hutchinson, who's played out on this right-hand side most of all, just floated over to the left, and his run was too early, so clearly offside in the end. It's the wide players for Nottingham Forest that are having the most joy so far. Alisson with the ball at his feet clips it out left, and that's a really poor ball from him again. That goes straight out for a throw-in. Liverpool really haven't got going. Arnestock's right on his technical area, trying to G them up and get them up the field, as Murillo has it in the centre-back position for the home side. He rolls it back to his keeper Ortega, who's out of his box and plays an easy ball into Morgan Gibbs White on the halfway line. He goes past Gakpo and McAllister. Good tackle. Oh no, free kick given. It looked like Kanate had won the ball fairly, but Anthony Taylor was right on the spot, and he's given that as a free kick to the side in red this afternoon, Nottingham Forest. Kanate just stood on the foot of the England international, Morgan Gibbs White. So 25 and a half minutes gone here at the City ground, and still goalless as Nottingham Forest have an opportunity to potentially put this into the box if they want to. Elliot Anderson just taking his time. Liverpool have got a line of defence just on the penalty box, and it's taken short and then clipped in at the second time, and it's cleared by Gravenberch, but only as far as Nico Williams, and Nottingham Forest will keep possession. Olaina decides to go all the way back to his goalkeeper, who's 40 yards out of his area, and ends up retreating back to his own box as he then sends it forward up towards the halfway line, and Hutchinson flicks it on, but it's stolen away by Van Dijk and then delivered to Gakpo, and his pass is a poor one, and they end up giving the ball away again, Liverpool. Milenkovic at the back plays it to his keeper, who shifts it out onto his left foot and then clips it up towards halfway again, flicked on by Hudson-Odoi, taken on the chest by Igor Jesus, who hasn't had much joy so far. In fantastic scoring form, Igor Jesus, just not in the Premier League. 12 goals now in all competitions, only 2 in the Premier League so far for the Brazilian striker. Scored again on Thursday night, 7 in 7 in the Europa League, after coming in from Botafogo in the summer. He'll be looking to get himself on the Premier League score sheet once again. Sangare in the midfield finds Hutchinson, who's drifted infield, and then again Callum Hudson-Odoi has also come off his wing, and he then clips the ball forward for Jesus to chase, who is being manhandled by Virgil van Dijk, but no foul given. And Szoboszlai in the right back position picks up the ball and finds Konate. Konate out wide to Mo Salah. He's been forced back by Nico Williams, so the ball ends up back with Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk out left to Kerkez. He then gives it back to his captain. Slow build up from Liverpool, just playing the ball around the back, and that invites Nottingham Forest on. So Anderson clips it up to the left hand side. It's stolen away by Anderson. Nottingham Forest really timing this press well until Murillo gives it away to Ekitike in the centre of the park, and he'll drive into the Nottingham Forest box. Easily tackled away by Nico Williams though, and forward come Nottingham Forest again. End-to-end stuff in the last few moments as Jesus plays up the left-hand side for Hudson-Odoi to chase and forces Konate to knock the ball back, and that will be a throw-in for Nottingham Forest. Konate felt he was fouled. Really good pressure from the home side. Certainly don't look to be a side that are languishing down towards the bottom of this table. So throwing on the far side for the home team. Olaina has come over from right back to the other side of the pitch to take this for the long throw. Milenkovic has gone forward, as has Murillo. In comes that long throw towards the near post, and it's ended up clearing everyone and will go straight out of play for a goal kick as we come towards the half-hour mark. Still no goals in the Premier League on this Super Sunday. 0-0 in the 3 games so far. Goal kick is going to be taken short by Van Dijk, who then just passes it to his keeper, who then drills it out to the left-hand side, and this time it's picked up by Gakpo, flicks it over his head and finds Ekitike, but he's been crowded out, and familiar pattern of play here as Nottingham Forest find themselves back in possession with Elliot Anderson in the centre circle. He looks up and drills a diagonal ball out to the left-hand side, but it's too strong and it will go out of play, as it looks like Arne Slot has seen enough. He's going to make a change in formation, not in personnel, but it'll be Curtis Jones now. He's been shuffled into that right back position with Szoboszlai into the centre midfield role, which we thought might have been the case after that late injury change for Florian Wirtz. It's taken Arne Slot 30 minutes to change his mind. It'll be interesting to see if that changes Liverpool's favours, as Ryan Gravenberch gives it away to Sangare again, and his pass to Anderson is released. Igor Jesus, who drives towards the box and shoots, and it hits Van Dijk in the back of the head, who drops straight to the floor. And Ekitike ends up bringing the ball away. Van Dijk is still down, and this will be a head injury here. Igor Jesus hit the ball towards goal, has struck it well. Van Dijk had his back to the play, and it's hit him on the back of the head. So I wouldn't have been expecting it. And the Liverpool captain is bent over double here. As we see again, took a good whack to the head after sort of only 5 yards away from the strike. He's up on his knees, being spoken to by the medical staff. Arne Slot's using this stoppage in play to speak to Dominic Szoboszlai. But after 31 minutes, Vitor Pereira will be really happy with his side's first 30 minutes here. We mentioned at the start, it's the game where both sides have really failed to capitalise on their good seasons last year. Liverpool are 19 points worse off from where they were this time last season, and Nottingham Forest are 20 points worse off. It's the two sides that are the furthest away from their positions last year. This time last year, Nottingham Forest were sat third and Liverpool were top. So Virgil van Dijk is back to his feet and is okay to continue. And the ball is just dropped at the feet of Elliot Anderson in the centre circle, and we're back underway in his short stoppage. And here's Anderson, who finds Sangare as Nottingham Forest move from left to right. Picked up by Hutchinson, who then plays it down the line to Morgan Gibbs-White, who's been absolutely everywhere for his side so far. Murillo takes over, comes forward, he's halfway inside the Liverpool half now, the centre-back, and finds Igor Jesus, who tries to thread a ball through, and it's cut out, and Liverpool can try and get a bit of possession here with Mo Salah on the right-hand side. No one around him, and Sangare just steals the ball off him really easily. It's almost like the home side have got an extra player at the moment. I can assure you they haven't, but they're absolutely everywhere as the ball is sent over to the right hand side towards Hutchinson. That's going to go over the former Ipswich man's head, and that'll be a throw in to Liverpool over on this left hand side of their defence. The Hungarian Milos Kerkez with ball in his hands to take. Chosen the short sleeve shirt with the long sleeve undershirt, which he's got rolled right down over his hands. Clearly a chilly afternoon in Nottingham as the ball is thrown up the line. It's won back by Milenkovic, and neat passing triangles between the Forest midfield allows them to keep possession, and then they return the ball to Ortega in the goal. Ortega takes a couple of steps forward and then drills up towards Jesus, but an easy header by Van Dijk, and that allows Liverpool to get a bit of possession in the other half as Gakpo attacks the box on the left hand side, clips it in towards the back post, headed away by Williams and then Anderson, chested down by Gravenberch, and Igor Jesus is back to win the ball. The striker all the way back helping out his defence, and Nottingham Forest are back in possession. They're going to win a free kick on the right hand side as Hutchinson is fouled by Kerkez. 35 minutes on the clock, and the home team under their fourth different manager in the Premier League, currently good value at the moment, although they haven't been able to get themselves on the score sheet. Only one real opportunity in this game so far, which was in the 3rd minute, a good save from Alisson, who kept out Hudson-Odoi, who was through one-on-one. Liverpool haven't really been able to get going, but they might here as they win the ball back with Szoboszlai high up the pitch, and he's going to thread the ball out to Salah on the right hand side. He then sends it in towards the back post where Gakpo was unmarked, but the cross from Salah was too strong. A frustrated smile on his face. He knows that was a good opportunity. Mo Salah has got 4 assists in his last 5 Premier League games. Hasn't really hit the heights with his goal scoring in the Premier League. Did get back on the score sheet for Liverpool in the FA Cup at the weekend after winning a penalty and then scoring it to make it 3-0 against Brighton. But he will be disappointed that he didn't manage to put that ball onto Cody Gakpo's head. Liverpool finding a bit more joy here, and it's Salah again on the right hand side, midway inside the home team's half. He then gives it back to Curtis Jones, who's at right back now, and then Liverpool will come from right to left, and it's with Gakpo on this left hand side. He finds McAllister in field, who wriggles away from a couple of players, and then his pass is cut out by Aina, and then the impressive Sangare threads a nice ball through to Gibbs White on the halfway line. Gibbs White floats inside and his pass is cut out, and Liverpool will be in possession until foul's been given against Ryan Gravenberch. He's protesting that he was pulled back by Morgan Gibbs White, which did look like it happened, and obviously Gibbs White has already been booked, but the foul ended up going in favour of the home side. Ball back with Ortega, who is brilliant with his feet, and it's an incredible pass by him to release Gibbs White, and it's just a slightly heavy touch that allows Konate to clear the ball away. Anderson just inside his own half finds Williams on the halfway line, who will bring it forward and plays it back to Anderson, who then tries to spread the play over to the right hand side, and Sangare in the centre circle takes over. He finds Hutchinson, who's just in front of the Liverpool dugout. He's forced backwards by Kirkes, and Forest retain possession in their back line now with Murillo and then Williams. Williams finds Anderson, who threads another great ball out to the right hand side for Ola Aina, who finds Hutchinson ahead of him. He drifts in and threads the ball through towards Igor Jesus, and it's a really impressive tackle by Virgil van Dijk to stop the Brazilian forward from shooting. Lovely threaded ball again through the centre of that defence. Now Liverpool can come forward. McAllister, his ball towards Gakpo has been cut out by Sangare again, who's almost covered every blade of grass in this first half. Long ball from Ortega has been allowed to bounce by Konate, who then takes it on his chest, and he's then pushed over by Igor Jesus unfairly, according to Anthony Taylor, as the Brazilian puts his hands on his head. He felt that he was in one-on-one. The too stronger push from the Brazilian forward. It was Jesus who looked like he was just about to pull the trigger on the penalty spot before a big left boot of Virgil van Dijk kicked the ball away moments ago. An incredibly animated Vitor Pereira on the edge of his technical box, jumping around. Thought that was going to be the opportunity for his side to take the lead. 39 minutes on the clock here at the City grounds. Still goalless. Liverpool really unable to make too many inroads into this Nottingham Forest defence. They try the long ball this time. It's headed away by Milenkovic, but the second ball's picked up by Gakpo, and it's a good tackle again by the Serb, and it means that Forest can break away on this right hand side as Hutchinson steams towards the penalty box, gets on the right hand side, clips it in, and it's a cross that's ended up having to be palmed over his crossbar by Alisson, and that will be a corner for the home side. They've gone from front to back so quickly today, really direct, without necessarily playing the long ball. 2 passes and they were away. And Hutchinson's cross was a little bit sliced and Allison had to turn it over his bar. It will be Omari Hutchinson on this near side to take the corner, so it will be a left-footed in-swinger. Plenty of players around the 6-yard box as it comes in towards the back post. It's a free header, but it's just flicks off the top of Jesus' head. He ends up retrieving his own ball in the end. And Nottingham Forest keep possession with Aina about 40 yards from goal. Finds Anderson, who plays it back out to the right-hand side where Hutchinson, the corner taker, is. He does a couple of step-overs as he looks to attack the box and finds Anderson, who delivers it from a different angle. Headed back across by Jesus, and that will be really simple into the hands of Allison. Allison just rolls the ball. Apparently, it had already gone out for a goal kick, so he's given that to Virgil van Dijk to take. Who again just knocks it short to his keeper, who then drills the ball out towards Salah, whose touch is immaculate on the halfway line. But 4 players around Salah as it's given away, and it gives White to break forward. He finds Jesus, but really good tackle from Curtis Jones, but given away on the edge of the box. The shot is blocked. Liverpool can't get out, and Hudson-Odoi keeps it in by the corner flag. Finds Williams in support. Williams back to Hudson-Odoi, goes on the outside and crosses left-footed in towards Gibbs-White, who heads it back to Elliot Anderson, who's had a good strike in the end on the volley, and it's taken the deflection. It'll be away for another corner. Nottingham Forest playing incredibly well here, just unable to find a good route to goal. Plenty of Liverpool bodies on the line. Already had 10 attempts, the home side, 2 on target. And they'll be looking for another one here. It'll be a Anderson corner from the far side, right-footed in swinger. 5 red shirts in the 6-yard area. It's delivered towards the back, and that's too strong. That will land on the top of the net. A few poor deliveries from Elliot Anderson, which you don't expect from the 23-year-old. A man who appears to be firmly in Thomas Tuchel's plans for the upcoming Summer World Cup. Him and Sangare have really dictated the midfield so far today. So 43 minutes gone. It's clipped forward this time long by Van Dijk, and Salah's unable to bring it down, and Sangare will come away with the ball again. Finds Aina, who tries to go past Gakpo. He's under a bit of pressure, and Sangare ends up mopping the ball up, and it's back with Murillo in the centre-back role. He comes over to the right-hand side for Milenkovic, who's forced to go back to his keeper, and the very quiet Hugo Ekitike forcing Nottingham Forest back. But great ball again from Ortega. Finds Williams on the left-hand side. Aina clips it down the line. Finds Hutchinson, but Kirkes breaks forward and steals the ball and threads it into Ekitike. His touch is heavy, and it's been the story of the half for Liverpool, and they give it away as Hudson-Odoi brings it over the halfway line, directly running towards the penalty area. Finds Anderson out wide on the left-hand side. Liverpool with players back now. Hudson-Odoi puts on his right foot as he cuts the ball in for Hutchinson, who can't get past his man, and Curtis Jones will bring the ball away for Liverpool. A couple of strong tackles in the midfield again from Anderson. It's turned over high up the field. Gibbs-White finds Hutchinson, who plays it back to Hudson-Odoi, then to Anderson, who shoots from distance, and it's over the bar on the angle. Anderson put a bit of a dive in, but it looked like it was always going to be too high. But again, it's been really great flowing attacking football from Vitor Pereira's side. We're about to find out how many additional minutes we will receive in this first half. There's been a couple of stoppages as the clock ticks on to 45. It's going to be 3 additional minutes before half time. Anderson comes forward and launches the ball long over the halfway line. It's flicked on by Gravenberch towards Ekatike, who can spin away, but another brilliant tackle from Sangare. And the home side retain possession once more. Jesus flicks it out to the left-hand side, and it's sent long, and no one there. First real pass from Nottingham Forest, which hasn't been a good one. It allows Virgil van Dijk to come forward. Plays the ball short to Sabozalai, who trades passes again with his Dutch captain. Gravenberch takes over in the centre circle, allowed to come forward and then finds Salah out wide on the right. Salah cuts in field and plays it to Curtis Jones, who then sends it back to the Egyptian. Right out on the touchline, Salah unable to really affect the game, just trades short passes with Curtis Jones. And then Jones gives it back to Salah again, who tries to thread it down the line. It's going to come off Nico Williams, and Williams with a fantastic tackle can steal the ball away, but it will break back to Curtis Jones, who once again plays it to Salah on the right hand side. No real movement from the men in white this afternoon. Salah still waiting for a bit of movement. He gets it this time from Gravenberch. Good reverse ball, but it's mopped up by Murillo. And the home team back in possession. Hudson-Odoi, midway inside his own half, finds Gibbs-White in the centre. Plenty of space, but good tackle from Gakpo working back, and Liverpool can try and break here towards the end of the first half. 2 of the 3 minutes are up. Gravenberch on the edge of the box, drifts in field and tries to get a shot away. It was a good tackle from Gibbs-White. Forward come Forest again, and it's Hudson-Odoi on the left hand side over the halfway line. Bit of a slow break now as Liverpool flood white shirts back inside the box. Plays it to Hutchinson on the edge of the area. Hutchinson turns and faces the goal, but trades passes with Hudson-Odoi and Anderson. Can Forest just put the ball in the box one more time as it goes to Williams, back out wide again for Hudson-Odoi. Finds Hutchinson in field. All the way back to Milenkovic, who comes forward and is going to shoot from distance, and it's a great strike from the Serbian centre-back, but always rising. And that will be into the stand behind the goal, and a goal kick, as that will probably be the last play of the half. Milenkovic with showing plenty of confidence to hit it from there. Hasn't scored this season. Hasn't scored since the back end of last season in a away win at West Ham in May. But took the ball on and hit it well. Alisson taking plenty of time over this goal kick. He comes forward and launches it up into the air, and Anthony Taylor says that's enough for the first 45 minutes. The half-time whistle goes, and it will be Vitor Pereira who will be the happier of the two managers. He will feel that a good opportunity for his side here to potentially take what would be an impressive 3 points at home against Liverpool. Callum Hudson-Odoi with the best opportunity in the first half. A delightful ball from Sangare through, allowed him to go through one-on-one in the first 3 minutes, but it was a really good save from keeper Alisson. Spread himself and stopped the one-on-one opportunity. In terms of possession, it's been plenty for the home side, and they've had lots of chances in the opposition box. Unable to really force a good chance against Liverpool. A couple of half chances, but it has been the home side who have been the most impressive. Liverpool really struggling to work Stefan Ortega at all. So there'll be plenty of opportunity for Arne Slot to change it at half time. We'll leave you here at the City Ground with the score goalless, and we'll see you again for the second half. Welcome back to the City Ground where we're ready to get on the way for the second half here in the Premier League. It's goalless between Nottingham Forest and Liverpool, and it's the home side, Nottingham Forest, shooting from right to left to get us back underway, and Elliot Anderson rolls the ball straight back to Ortega, who sends it long up the field towards the right hand side. It's headed away by Virgil van Dijk. No changes at half time for both sides as Gibbs White brings it forward on the right and finds Hutchinson, who tries to get the ball onto his left and ends up having to go back to Aina in support, but Hutchinson gets the ball back and does deliver it in towards the back post, and it's headed away by Curtis Jones. It'll be behind for a corner straight away to the home team. Brilliant start for them. In fact, it's going to be giving us a goal kick by the looks of things. Did come off Hudson-Odoi last in the end, a little flick off of his knee. So Liverpool get away with one there, and it's Kanate who brings the ball forward. He goes storming all the way into the Nottingham Forest half, and he's still going, the centre-back. Plays it out right to Mo Salah, who tries to deliver the ball into the box early. It's flicked on by Milenkovic, and this will be a corner for Liverpool down the other end. Liverpool had a really disappointing first half and already looked to be a little bit more direct, with Kanate bursting forward and Salah sending the ball in really early. So Szoboszlai to go over and take the corner on the far side in front of the Liverpool support behind that goal on the right hand side. Szoboszlai with his left arm raised, and he comes in swinging corner, and it's flicked on by Ekitike, and it takes another deflection, and it will be another corner. Ekitike was really quiet in the first half for a man who's got 10 Premier League goals this season. So it'll be a corner from the same side. Cody Gakpo's currently off the pitch and in the goal, so Anthony Taylor just asking him to come back on as the corner comes in a little bit deeper this time, headed up in the air by Murillo and then away by Gibbs White, but only as far as the corner taker Szoboszlai, who delivers it back into the box towards the back post. It's headed away by Williams. Good distance on the header, but Liverpool will try and come forward again, but it's going to be smuggled away by Gibbs White, who bursts forward on this left hand side, comes over the halfway line and threads a brilliant ball down the line for Hutchinson, who delivers it first time. It's a good sliding tackle from Kirkes over from the far side to cover, and that'll be a throw in right down by the corner flag for the home team. And Ola Aina will, in fact it looks like it's bounced off of the corner flag, and it will be a corner rather than a throw in, as Elliot Anderson's the one to make his way over. So the centre backs of Milenkovic and Murillo come forward. Anderson will hope his delivery is better in the second half, and it is a better ball in, and it's Ekitike who gets his head to the ball to clear it away. Recovered by Anderson again. Anderson over on the left hand side, chopping and changing direction to try and work an angle, and finds Hudson-Odoi. Still all the red shirts in the box as they wait for a delivery, and Anderson and Hudson-Odoi trade passes, but it's Hudson-Odoi to deliver the ball in, and it's flicked goalwards by Milenkovic, who is still forward, and it's just flicked the side netting. Really powerful header from the Serbian centre-back. Got ahead of Van Dijk. Can only flick it wide in the end. Brilliant ball in from Hudson-Odoi. Anderson was rooted to the spot, such as the force on the header. Long ball from Anderson's going to allow Szoboszlai to get in a foot race with Murillo, and there's not too many people that will beat him, and it's then given away by Milenkovic, and Salah recovers the ball on the edge of the area, but his pass is not a good one, and Elliot Anderson will be able to recover possession for Nottingham Forest. Sangare with his bright orange boots takes over, then clips the ball forward, but it's going to go over the head of Igor Jesus, and it will be back with Curtis Jones in the right back position. Curtis Jones, who got himself on the score sheet for Liverpool in the FA Cup last weekend against Brighton. wasn't due to start today, but a late change after Florian Wirtz got injured in the warm-up forced him into the starting 11. His first start in 6 Premier League games. Szoboszlai in the centre circle clips it out to Jones, who's playing right back, and he drifts in field, trades passes with McAllister, and ends up on the right hand side for Salah. He's forced backwards to Jones again. Jones back into his own half, and Konate recycles the ball back to his keeper, who then finds captain Van Dijk, who's under pressure from Hutchinson. So Van Dijk sends a long diagonal towards Salah, but second ball's picked up by Szoboszlai, and that'll be a throw in for Liverpool, down in front of Arne Slot. He then throws the ball in to Curtis Jones. Jones finds Szoboszlai. He looks up and drills a ball across field to Gakpo, who takes it down on his chest right on the touchline. He then drifts in field and finds Konate. Konate trades the ball to Gravenberch, and the first opportunity really in this second half where Liverpool managed to maintain possession in the opposition half. It's forcing Nottingham Forest right back in behind the ball. Halfway line with Van Dijk at the moment. Rolls the ball across to his partner. Then threads a good ball through to McAllister, who tries to get a shot away, and that's going to be blocked. And Curtis Jones can pick up possession, finds Szoboszlai in midfield. Brilliant ball from him into Curtis Jones. He's got himself into the box, shoots with his left foot, and is crowded out by Williams and Murillo. But Liverpool already, in the first 6 minutes of this half, look a completely different team to the one we saw in the first half. Konate threads the ball forward, but cut out by Murillo. And that will fall at the feet of Hudson-Odoi, who's now crowded out by white shirts as Liverpool keep possession inside the Forest half. Konate takes over again, and every Nottingham Forest player back behind the ball. Gakpo on the left hand side under pressure from Maina, goes down, and that'll be a free kick to the away team. Whatever Arne Slot has said at half time has really worked. It's a completely different feel to this game in the opening 8 minutes of this second half. Konate finds Curtis Jones on this right hand side, who's got Salah outside him, and Salah bumps the ball to Szoboszlai, then tries to play it down the line again for the Egyptian winger. And Murillo, we've already mentioned his speed in this second half, we saw it there, sped out to close him down, so it'll be a throw in for Liverpool, which is taken short by Curtis Jones into Szoboszlai. Gives it back to the man who took over the right back position after half an hour. Konate brings the ball forward and finds Gakpo in space on the left hand side, out in the sunshine on that far side. Gakpo cuts in and drifts across the box and clips the ball towards the back post, where Salah heads it down for Curtis Jones, and it's saved in the end at the near post. That's the first real save that Ortega's had to make. There was plenty of bodies in between the ball and the goal, so it was a combination probably of defenders and Ortega, but Forest have managed to keep it out for now. Liverpool have really struggled at the City ground in the Premier League. Only one win in 8 appearances. And if Nottingham Forest can win today, it will be the first league double they've done over Liverpool since 1963. So massive opportunity for Vitor Pereira and his side. Salah flicks it down the line for Ekitiko, who then drifts in field, goes past a couple of players, but Nico Williams sticks to his task and wins it back, but it finds Salah on the corner of the box, who plays a ball in with the outside of his right foot. It's chipped away by Milenkovic. And there'll be a battle between Anderson and Jones to keep the ball in, and it's the Nottingham Forest man who ends up winning possession and a throw in for his side. As we see a replay, it was a brilliant save in the end by Stefan Ortega. Managed to spread himself and block it with his legs. Curtis Jones only a couple of yards out. So the German keeper, an important signing for Nottingham Forest after those injuries in goal. 4 pretty experienced goalkeepers on the books now at Nottingham Forest, and 2 of them out with injuries. Kerkez delivers a ball across field towards Salah. It's headed away by Williams, but common theme in this second half, it's Liverpool that retain the possession. Complete change of feel in this game in the second 45 minutes so far. Jones spreads it out towards Salah, who takes it down on his left foot, and Nico Williams goes sliding in to knock the ball out of play for a throw in, which Salah takes quickly back to Curtis Jones on this right hand side. Szoboszlai picks it up in midfield, drifts in field and can only clip it back to Konate in the right side of this defence for Liverpool. He then turns around and gives it to Allison, who then drills it straight away out towards the left hand side where Gakpo takes the ball down. Forced to go back to Van Dijk. Got half the pitch in bright sunshine and half the pitch in shade. It's that far side where Cody Gakpo is looking into the sun, which made his touch even more impressive. Liverpool just able to knock the ball around at will at the moment as Kerkez takes over on the left hand side, finds Ekitiko, flicks it first time beautifully into Szoboszlai, chips it forward, and it's going to be cut out by Milenkovic, and then Anderson can knock the ball forward but can't make the ball stick at the moment, the home team. Liverpool in full flow as they come forward again with Salah. Finds Curtis Jones overlapping. Tries to play a 1-2 with McAllister. Curtis Jones will get the ball back, but Nico Williams sticks to his task well and forces him back to Salah, who plays the ball in towards Ekitike, and it's a good sliding tackle from Williams to regain possession for the home team, and they can break forward now with Hudson-Odoi over the halfway line. He turns to the left and plays in Jesus. Liverpool with plenty of players back now, and the home team just happy to keep possession on the halfway line with Anderson and Sangare. Anderson's the man just asking his players to calm down a little bit and see if they can keep possession. Murillo threads it over to the right hand side where Milenkovic takes over and plays a good ball to Gibbs White, whose through ball is cut out by Kerkez, and Liverpool can come away and they'll break here with McAllister. McAllister coming forward, and Sangare covers the ground and does really well to intercept, and then even clips the ball off of McAllister, but he actually keeps it in. It looked like he got out for a throw, and in fact Anthony Taylor does stop proceedings, as when the ball bounced forward it was Cody Gakpo who was offside. We have got our first goal of the afternoon in the Premier League. It's come at the Stadium in Light, and it's the away side, Fulham, that have managed to get themselves in front. Raul Jimenez in the 54th minute puts the away side in front. Liverpool in possession in the centre circle. Good ball to Salah, but he is going to be disappointed with his pass, and it's been given away. And Ola Aina will bring it forward over the halfway line on the right hand side for Nottingham Forest, but Liverpool with plenty of players back, so it's going to be a slow attack for Nottingham Forest. Back with Milenkovic, who finds Murillo. Murillo happy to gently bring it over the halfway line, then clips it down the line for Williams, who's going to run at Szoboszlai. It's a good tackle from Szoboszlai, and that'll be a throw in to the home side. And it's going to be Nico Williams over to come and take. In fact, they're going to delay proceedings and allow right back on Aina to come all the way over the pitch to send in one of these long throws. Aina just drying the ball on his shirt. It's not a wet day here, but a little bit of slick on the surface as the clock ticks over to the hour mark. And in fact, after all that, Aina takes the throw short to Murillo, catching Liverpool by surprise a little bit. Elliot Anderson takes over. Williams looks up and delivers the ball over to the left-hand side, and Curtis Jones can only head it away, and that'll be a throw-in a lot closer to the corner flag this time. Taken short again by Hudson-Odoi into the feet of Aina, and then he delivers it in. It's headed away. And then Ekitike with some lovely footwork will get Liverpool up the pitch, and he will break forward. Aina's got a handful of his shirt and he's still going, and eventually brings him down. And that'll be the easiest yellow card that Anthony Taylor will give all season. Well, Aina had Ekitike's shirt in his hand for a good 15 yards as the French forward powered closer to the goal. Plenty of players covering back for Nottingham Forest, but a third yellow card of the season for the Nigerian fullback. So it'll be an opportunity for Liverpool to deliver this into the box. It's a free kick on the right hand side, level with the edge of the centre circle, but they've sent plenty of players forward, and Szoboszlai does clip it into the box, and it's headed on by McAllister, but harmlessly wide in the end from the World Cup winner. Alexis McAllister, not on the score sheet this season in the Premier League for Liverpool, and wasn't close to threatening there either, really. His last goal was back in April last season. Liverpool win the ball on the halfway line again with Konate, who finds Szoboszlai, but a good tackle by Sangare, and it allows Hudson-Odoi a bit of room on the left hand side to run at Curtis Jones. Goes past the English fullback and cuts inside, and then Konate just shrugs him off with ease and wins the ball back for the away team in their white shirts this afternoon. Konate really looks in the mood in this second half. Bit of swagger about him there as he just shrugged off Callum Hudson-Odoi. Vitor Pereira on the edge of his area, just asking for a little bit more. Be surprised in the change of passages of play, really. Obviously, he probably expected Liverpool to be a bit better in this second half, but his side haven't really been at the races. But they've got an opportunity here on the right hand side as Hutchinson picks it up on the corner of the box. He's going to run at Kirkes. He's been forced on the outside, and now with his back to goal finds Aina, who whips it in towards the back post and ends up landing on top of the net. Allison was watching it all the way and judged it well. So it will be a goal kick here. 64 minutes gone at the City grounds. One of these short goal kicks again, taken by Van Dijk over to Curtis Jones this time. And then Konate lifts the ball out of the penalty box, and it's headed up in the air by Williams on the halfway line. He gets his header back as well and tries to find Igor Jesus, but Brazilian forward unable to really get into this game. There's going to be a foul given by Anthony Taylor for a foul on Curtis Jones by Callum Hudson-Odoi. Captain Morgan gives White in the ear of the referee, asking for an explanation, but a clear trip in the end by the Forest winger. Nottingham Forest are going to ready at least one substitution, we can see, maybe two. Vitor Pereira is going to roll the dice. Looks like Dan and Doy is one of them. I'm not sure on the other just yet. There is some activity over on the bench. Free kick taken long by Konate up towards Ekitike, but headed up in the air by Milenkovic. It's recovered by McAllister. And then cleared long again by the Serb. Konate, imperious at the back, wins his header and tries to release Salah on the right hand side, but the Egyptian ends up knocking the ball out of play and it'll be a throw. Salah cutting quite a frustrated figure over on that right hand side, not really able to get himself into the game. Has been involved in the assists but not the goals really. Did get a goal as mentioned in the FA Cup, hasn't scored a Premier League goal since November. And we are going to see Dan Ndoye. He's going to come on for Callum Hudson-Odoi. And the other change is going to be Delane Backwell is going to come on. And he's going to replace Amari Hutchinson. So it's the both wide men who make their way off. So Backwell in his last appearance in the Premier League did get an assist for Morgan Gibbs-White, his first of the season in goal involvements. Looks like he's gone straight over to the right hand side and it'll be Dan Ndoye on the left. Backwell in the game straight away, tries to nod the ball on, but it's picked up by McAllister, who's having his shirt pulled by Sangare as those two tussle. That'll be a free kick for Liverpool, as there's been a second goal at the Stadium and Light, and the away side Fulham have doubled their lead. Jimenez again from the penalty spot. I don't know the official stats, but the Mexican's got an incredible penalty record in the Premier League, and that has been continued. Still goalless here after 67 minutes at the City ground. Ball spread out to the left hand side for Liverpool as Gakpo takes it down on his chest and tries to drift in field and find Gravenberch, who then twists away from Gibbs-White and finds Kirkes on the left hand side. He shifts it out of his feet and will run at Backwell, who's just come on. Backwell forcing him down the line and then ends up having to turn around, and ball's now all the way back at the halfway line with Virgil van Dijk. Forward come Liverpool again on the left hand side. It's Szoboszlai who takes over and then drifts in field, and it's all very slow from Liverpool at the moment as they find Konate, and Konate just opens his legs and runs forward. Finds Salah, clips the ball in towards Ekitike, headed away. Only as far as the left back position where Williams does a few keepy ups and then hooks it over his head. And Igor Jesus wins a free kick against Ibrahim Konate, and Konate is apoplectic as he protests his innocence. That will give Nottingham Forest a little bit of respite. They take the free kick short out onto the right hand side with Milenkovic moving on to Ainu, who then finds the French substitute Backwell. Backwell, a couple of step overs, got no one really in support, so Gakpo just steps across and over the halfway line and start running towards the box. He's got Salah further right and he does use him. Salah outside the box finds Jones in support. He clips it back towards the Egyptian. Half cleared by Nottingham Forest. Taken on the chest by Igor Jesus, who then gets a shove in the back from Konate. There's no protest this time from the French centre-back. That is a clear foul. Pretty much bang on the spot where the last one was as well. Free kick taken short by Anderson. He's going to give it back to his goalkeeper, Ortega, who has made the only save of this second half. A really good stop from close range after Curtis Jones got in behind, and Igor Jesus has dropped to the floor and thought he was pushed by Curtis Jones. He's grabbed the ball with his hands, and Anthony Taylor's actually given a handball against the Brazilian forward. And Liverpool taking it quickly, and Gravenberch will steam forward, and it's a very important foot in by Murillo, and he will then come forward, brings it over the halfway line. The Brazilian centre-back plays a left-footed pass to Bakwa, who's in a central position. He looks to shoot and drags it well wide in the end. Denain Bakwa, picked up from Strasbourg in the summer, does have French under-21 caps, the 23-year-old. But he'll be very disappointed with that strike. Hasn't been able to get on the score sheet in the Premier League for his new club. And didn't threaten Alisson's goal there either. Curtis Jones hooks the ball over to the left-hand side, and Kerkez will pick it up in plenty of space inside his own half. And then comes forward. Trades passes with Cody Gakpo as the clock ticks on to 71 minutes here at the City Ground. Still goalless between these two sides. And now Salah can, for the first time, get in behind Nico Williams and attacks him on the outside, and then overruns it, and that will go out of play for a goal kick. Salah with a wry smile. Hasn't been at his best today, but a man with so much class you can never write off. So goal kick to Nottingham Forest, and it's the light blue kit of Ortega to thread it up to the left hand side, headed on by Anderson but not picked up by a player in red, and it's hooked forward by Szoboszlai, and that forces Oloraina to head it out of play, and it'll be a throw in midway inside the Nottingham Forest half on the left hand side for Liverpool, which Hungarian Kerkez picks up and throws it into the ground for Szoboszlai just to knock it back to Alisson. Sun just pops behind a cloud, so the whole pitch now in shade as Szoboszlai is fouled by Morgan Gibbs-White. Free kick taken quickly as Canate then brings it over the halfway line. Seen a bit more endeavour from the French centre-back in this second half. Szoboszlai trades passes with Alexis McAllister, who then finds Van Dijk in the centre circle. He'll move it over to the right-hand side for Curtis Jones, and all very slow from Liverpool at the moment as they look to build up an attack. Canate sends it towards Ekitike, but it's picked off, and that can't be picked up by Igor Jesus. I mentioned his brilliant scoring record in the Europa League, 7-7, after scoring again in Turkey on Thursday night away at Fenerbahce. An impressive 3-0 win for Nottingham Forest. But only 2 goals for the Brazilian striker in the Premier League, and really struggled to get in the game against Canate and Van Dijk this afternoon. The Liverpool captain Van Dijk picks the ball up in the centre circle, threads it forward to McAllister, but Bakwa does well to win the ball back for the home team as he then gets the ball back from Anderson and will drive forward on the left hand side. Williams takes over, moves it back to Bakwa as they play a 1-2, and it's given infield to Sangare and then back to the halfway line for Murillo. Nottingham Forest be happy just to have a little bit of possession. Haven't had much of it in this second half. Jesus holds the ball up and threads the ball down the line for Anderson. It doesn't quite fall for the English midfielder. Canate can smuggle the ball back to his goalkeeper, who gets us back underway really quickly over to the left hand side for Kerkez. Kerkez with his socks rolled right down to his ankles comes up to the halfway line, takes a couple of changes of direction and then just gives the ball to Virgil van Dijk, who moves it over to the right hand side for Canate, and then again out wide to Salah. Salah infield to Szoboszlai, who Trades passes with Curtis Jones in a neat little triangle, and then back on to Mo Salah. Salah clips the ball in towards McAllister in midfield, but it's picked off by Elliot Anderson. And Nico Williams will try and bring the ball forward. He clips the ball to Dan Ndoye, gives it back to his centre-back Murillo, who then returns it all the way to German keeper Ortega. 15 minutes of the 90 left. Flicked on to Dan Ndoye, who finds Nico Williams, who can bring it over the halfway line, but not many players ahead of him, so he has to just stop and then sends a long diagonal over towards Delane Bakwa. Bakwa unable to keep the ball in, much to the frustration of the Nottingham Forest fans over on that far side. And we're going to see a couple of changes from both sides here. We're going to see the home side make their changes first, and it's going to be Dominguez to come on. He's going to replace Elliot Anderson. Remember, this is a side that there's no changes from Thursday night from Nottingham Forest, who had to travel to Turkey. And then we're also going to see Lorenzo Luca come on to replace Igor Jesus. So 4 changes now being made for Nottingham Forest. And then the Liverpool changes, we're going to see Rio Engamoa. He's going to replace Mohamed Salah, who has a little chuckle to himself as he makes his way off. He'll be disappointed with his work this afternoon, not really able to get into the game. And it'll be the youngster, that's Salah's 9th Premier League game now without a goal. It's the longest he's ever gone without a Premier League goal. And the other change will be Federico Chiesa replacing Cody Gakpo. So on a slot following Vitor Pereira, really, with the changes out wide. So those substitutes with 13 minutes plus additional time to make the difference. Throw in deep in the Liverpool half is flicked on by Ekitike, but they'll go out of play. So Nottingham Forest will get the throw in midway through the Liverpool half on the right hand side. Olaina with the ball above his head, just asking for a little bit of movement. Ends up throwing it in towards the box, in towards Lorenzo Luca, who is on loan from Napoli. Already got his first Premier League goal in that 3-1 defeat to Leeds at Ellen Road. He's incredibly tall, and he will bring a little bit of a different dynamic for the Liverpool defence to deal with. Alexis McAllister's gone down here. He's been clipped late after a poor touch from Delane Bakwa. He's ended up standing on his foot. McAllister in. It's ended up being quite high, just under the knee, and then with his studs has scraped down his shin. And I wonder whether this will be one for Paul Tierney to look at. McAllister's rolled his sock down and is pointing to his shin. It's his right leg. Dominguez, who's just come on, is trying to help him up to his feet. I think Anthony Taylor is just saying that we're going to carry on here. There wasn't an awful lot of force behind it. It was a little bit high. I'm surprised that Bakwa wasn't shown a yellow card there. It's his poor touch that ended up resulting in that foul. Ball goes in towards the box. It's headed away by Maria. A bit of a miscommunication, but they've dealt with it well in the end. It's now with Gravenberg on the right hand side, who Alisson, as we enter the last 10 minutes of the 90. Still goalless here at the City ground. I have to say that the home side would definitely take a point here. After the first half, they probably would be after all three, but Liverpool have been much better in this second half. Ball sent towards Luka, but it's even over his head. But Dominguez does well to break up possession. It's now with Ndoye, the Swiss winger, on this left-hand side. He goes on the outside and delivers the ball in left-footed and comes off of Kanate, and then unluckily for Dan Ndoye bounces against him, and it'll be behind for a goal kick. It's been a third goal at the Stadium of Light, and it's a penalty down the other end this time. Straight down the middle as Sunderland get a goal back. Lefay from the spot. Still yet to get a goal here. It's also goalless in the game between Crystal Palace and Wolves. Wolves are down to 10 men and have missed a penalty, so not good for the bottom side this afternoon. Curtis Jones with a throw right down by his own corner flag. Throws it up the line to Chiesa, who's just come on, but Williams does well to steal it away from him. There's a bit of a scramble for the ball, and it's Dominguez who picks the ball up and sends it in left-footed, but no one there, and it's an easy claim for keeper Alisson. Alisson just delays his throw and then bowls it out left to Kirkes, who goes past backward and is fouled again by the Frenchman. Just inside their own half, the free kick, and it's taken quickly, and Liverpool work it from left to right. It's now with Chiesa, who tries to go past Williams, who's dealt with Mo Salah really well all day, and he's done the same to the Italian Chiesa there, the former Liverpool man. Drilled forward by Ortega up towards Luka, but he can't win the header, and it's back in possession for Liverpool. And it's Chiesa on this right hand side. He's going to face the task of running at Williams before he turns away and gives the ball back to Curtis Jones. Jones finds Chiesa again, who's under pressure from Dominguez, and good tackle from him, and that'll be a throw in to Liverpool on this right hand side. And there's going to be more changes from Arne Slot, and Curtis Jones is going to be replaced by Joe Gomez. The versatile defender can either play in the centre or at right back, and he'll go to right back now. And then there's a change at left back as well, as Kirkes comes off and the experienced Andy Robertson comes on. Only 5 starts this season for Andrew Robertson. He's finding it difficult to get plenty of minutes for Arne Slot, but there was rumours that he might be on his way in January, but managed to stay at the club. Been here such a long time now. Throw in on the right hand side for Liverpool. And Joe Gomez has just come on. He's able to launch a long throw, and Kanate and Van Dijk have gone forward into the penalty area. They're right on the 6-yard line, and forward comes Gomez. It's an incredibly long throw, and it is flicked on by Van Dijk and into a crowd of players. It's punched away by Ortega and then sent up in the air by Nico Williams as well, and that'll be another throw on this right hand side. Milenkovic has stayed on the floor. There was a heap of bodies in before the goalkeeper. The Serbian centre-back is helped up. Got a little bit of a clatter from his own goalkeeper in the back. He appears to be okay. So Joe Gomez will try again. 84 minutes gone. He comes on the right hand side and sends that long throw in almost to the penalty spot. It's headed away by the incredibly tall Lorenzo Luca. But Liverpool can keep possession, and they get it into the box via Van Dijk, and it's hooked away by Sangare, then headed away by Gibbs White. Backward picks it up and tries to thump it down the line. He'll win a throw in for his team. Arms folded. He'll be pretty happy with what he's seen from his side in their first Premier League game under his stewardship. Thrown from Aina up to the halfway line and then hooked forward by Dominguez. Headed away by Gomez, and Sangare wins possession back for Nottingham Forest. It's over on this left hand side now with Williams, and he's got space ahead of him. Breaks into that space and tries to go on the outside of Gomez. Puts the ball in left footed and it's flapped by Addison. It's going to fall at the feet of Gibbs White. It's been blocked. Then Sangare drives towards goal and it's wide of the post. And that is the first opportunity really in this second half that Nottingham Forest have had on goal. There was a really good block from Andrew Robertson, who's just come on in the build up to that after Addison had dropped the cross. And that block fell to Sangare, took it down on his chest and let it bounce and then drove it wide in the end. But danger averted for Liverpool as they have the goal kick and it's sent forward. Towards Ekitike, who's lost the header to Milenkovic, and they've looked after Ekitike really well this afternoon. Forward they come on the right hand side again as Aina gets on the outside, delivers a ball into the box, and Joe Gomez can only help that behind for a corner. Much better from the home team in the last few moments. Aina got in behind the Scottish fullback on the left hand side and delivered a ball in. It's a corner for Nottingham Forest. It's going to be a right footed in swinger. It'll be Dan and Doy to deliver. Lifts both his arms as he steps forward and then swings it in towards the back post. It's punched away by Addison, recovered by Engamoa, but he can only get as far as Dominguez, who steals it off him and looked to deliver the ball straight away, but chooses to go back to Sangare instead. Sangare looks to deliver and it's thumped long by young Rio Engamoa. Dealt with by Aina, who knocks it back to goalkeeper Ortega. Drills the ball out left, and that's going to be stolen away by Liverpool, and it's at the feet of Engamoa, who finds Gomez ahead of him, and a really good tackle from Dominguez, and that'll be a throw-in for Liverpool on this near side. And it will be an opportunity for Joe Gomez to put the long ball in again. So Gomez about 25 yards from the goal line, so got a bit of an angle to work with here as Van Dijk and Konate go stand on the 6-yard line. In comes the throw and it's headed away easily by Williams, who's been fantastic this afternoon. Falls at the feet of Szoboszlai. Plays it back to Joe Gomez, who left-footed tries to put the ball in, and it's taken down by Sangare, but stolen. And then it'll be Engamoa on the corner of the box on the right hand side. Couple of step overs from the youngster, gets to the byline, delivers the ball in. There's a header by Ekitike and it's saved. And then the clearance comes off of McAllister and it's in the back of the net. Alexis McAllister has his first goal of the season. I'm not sure he knew anything about it. It's a clearance from Olo Aina, who's thumped against the World Cup winner, and it's gone into the back of the net after a really good save from close range by Stefan Ortega from Ekitike's header. And there's dismay on the Nottingham Forest bench. Vitor Pereira can't believe it. His side had defended so well. Ortega, and then as Olaraina's gone to clear the ball, he's taking it on his chest and then trying to hook it over his head, and then Alexis McAllister just jumped and turned his back on it to block the clearance. It's thumped off of the number 10 on his shirt. And ended up in the back of the net. Nothing that technical difficulties there. We might have just dropped out. If we have, I'm very sorry. But just to keep you updated with what's gone on, Liverpool just had a goal disallowed by VAR after a check. It was ended up being a handball by Alexis McAllister. And then Nottingham Forest gone right down the other end and they've managed to win a corner. We're in the 93rd minute. We actually haven't seen the board from the fourth official because the VAR check took so long to deal with. So we're unsure how long will be left, but if you did lose our coverage for a few moments, I'm very sorry, as the corner comes in towards the back post and it's headed down and kept back in by Nottingham Forest, but it's going to go out of play for a goal kick in the end. And it's the final change has been made. It was James McAtee who's just come on, tried to keep the ball in. It's been a late goal at Selhurst Park, and it looks like Crystal Palace are probably going to take the 3 points there. And we are still goalless here. We thought we had a winner. It would have been a very unfortunate one for Nottingham Forest. It looked like Liverpool had managed to smuggle the ball over the line. We did have 5 minutes of injury time, but we are going to have a lot longer than that because the VAR check did overrun. So 94 minutes on the clock. There's probably a good 2 or 3 still to play, and can one side go on and win this? Ball is with Sangare, who finds Ndoye in space, but a good tackle from Gomez, but it falls to Sangare, shoots from distance. It's an incredible strike, but rising high over the bar in the end, took it on and struck it beautifully. Sangare did get 2 goals before he went off to AFCON duties in the Premier League. Forward comes Van Dijk. Is this game just going to peter out into a 0-0? Forward it goes, and Aina can't deal with it. He does on this second attempt, and then Sangare thumps it long. That'll be out of play just inside the Liverpool half, and it'll be a throw-in, which is taken quickly and all the way back to Alisson. Clock says 95 minutes, but still we play on. See the VAR check going into injury time, so unsure of how many minutes we have left, but there can't be too much longer. Forward come Liverpool, but it's a pass towards Engamoa. It's not a good one, but then he does win it back. Engamoa, a couple of step overs, drifts in field and does really well to find Robertson on the left hand side. He puts the ball in towards the back post, headed away by Murillo. And Dominguez will clip it up the line, but only finds Joe Gomez, who then wins a throw level with the edge of the area. And we know that Joe Gomez is capable of these long throws, can cause a little bit of chaos. Can Nottingham Forest keep this clean sheet? Gomez takes the throw short in the end to Szoboszlai, who's on the edge of the area. Still gets the ball on his right foot, then clips it in towards the back post, and it's headed down and it's cleared off the line, and then it's bundled in this time by Alexis McAllister. He thought he scored a minute ago. It was disallowed for handball, and this time the save was parried out to the Argentine World Cup winner, and he does have his first goal of the season this time. Right at the death, Liverpool have stolen it. 96 minutes on the clock. It was a really good ball in by Szoboszlai. There was a header down, there was a crowd of players. It was saved by Ortega, but he could only parry it out into the 6-yard area. And McAllister ran onto it and powered it home. Now, we see it again. There could be an incredibly tight offside call here. It was Van Dijk who had his header saved. Ekitike was offside at the back post. Was he interfering? Van Dijk was very close, and this is going to be a lengthy VAR check again. From the still pictures, you can only see Van Dijk, but I think Olaina is behind him. Alexis McAllister's laughing with his arms up in the air. Is he going to have 2 goals taken away from him right at the death? This is going to be very, very close. It's difficult to even say from the pictures that we can see, because Van Dijk and Olaina are right next to each other. Hugo Ekitike is offside. He's a good yard away. It's whether he then ends up interfering with play. The Nottingham Forest fans stand with their hands on their heads. They're desperate for this to be ruled out. But it looks like it's been given. The goal has counted. Vitor Pereira shakes his head and throws his arms up in the air. It's going to be a late winner for Liverpool. As we see the onside graphic, it was incredibly tight. It's been done by their feet in the end. Virgil van Dijk was onside. His header was saved. And then Alexis McAllister bundled it into the back of the net. Drama in the last moments here. Still we play on as Ortega sends it forward. It's headed away by Canate and then hooked up into the air by Murillo. All eyes on the referee. Forward come Liverpool as they break in numbers, and Olaina can clear it against Federico Chiesa. Ball goes out of play, and that'll be a throw in to Liverpool. Anadoi throws it into the floor. I felt that should have been a throw in for his side. Vitor Pereira looks like he's going to be on the long list of Nottingham Forest managers who haven't won their first game in the Premier League, and the final whistle does go. Alexis McAllister's first goal of the season is the difference between the two sides. Nottingham Forest were the better team in the first half, had a really good chance early on with a good one-on-one save from Alisson after he kept the ball out from Hudson-Odoi. But Liverpool in the second half, a much better outfit. It wasn't really until the very death that Ortega had to make a save. And then a good header from Ekitike, but well saved by the German keeper. Ended up being bundled into the net by Alexis McAllister after a clearance from Olaina. After a VAR check, it was disallowed for handball. But then in the 97th minute, almost a carbon copy. A ball in from Szoboszlai towards the back post, headed down by Virgil van Dijk. Well saved by the keeper, but he could only parry it to the feet of Alexis McAllister, who then did put the ball back in the net. No VAR check to save Nottingham Forest this time. A very close offside call given the way of Liverpool. And it will be the team from Merseyside who will almost steal the 3 points to go back up north with. Nottingham Forest will be incredibly disappointed to not get anything out of the game. But it's finished here at the City Ground. A really intriguing end to the match, but it's Nottingham Forest 0, Liverpool 1. It's Liverpool that take the 3 points. Thank you for joining us on Flash Score. My name has been Matt Roberts, and we will see you again for another commentary very soon. And I wish you a good rest of your Sunday.